Tutorial how to play pocket jacks and win. Open under the gun, call a 3-bet from the small blind. Watch this. 8-3-6. We are going to call. Get called by worse. If we check jams, gets kinda dicey. If we die, we die. There we go. Last step is to win the hand. Twice? Yeah, let's do it. And fuck me. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hello, hello. We are going to play some 200 Zoom, 200 Rush&Cash, whatever you want to call it. Little warm-up session, little battling with the boys. We'll see how it goes. I'm just back from EPT Barcelona. Haven't played for 2 weeks, so this is a nice warm-up before I get back to my usual grind, usual stakes. And I figured, why not record? Why not put it out there? Maybe we will make mistakes. Maybe we are a little bit rusty, but that's a good thing. Embrace the mistakes. If you play perfect every single session and don't make any mistakes, I think you're lying to yourself. And making mistakes and being a little bit rusty is my #1 way to grow as a player. So yeah. Let's see. Recreational, I would squeeze 6s here. I think 5s are like good calling hand. Ooh, this guy seems tight. Okay. Basically, you want to squeeze your 6s and 7s to play heads up against the recreational. And I got the question a lot if it's too wide, and I don't think it is. Here we'll call like any worse pocket pairs. And we will take it down a lot post-flop, even without hitting a set. So, yeah. V-pipping as much as you can with a recreational in the hand is the way to go. Probably not winning here, but small chance we can. Ship it. No! Almost. Fair enough. Man, I have to get used to the cards. And everything again. Folding to a 3-bet. As far as open sizing goes, you can do basically whatever. You can play like a kind of back to the roots approach where you go big in early position and smaller in late. And here, for example, GTO would suggest to fold or 3-bet a little bit. I will just call because against a recreational, we can just do that. And we won't get exploited for basically always having hands like this. Close. Pfosten Latte, we say in Germany. Stabbing won't accomplish much. I fold out some overcards, but when I get called, I basically have 2 outs, and bluffing multiple streets with 2 outs is not great. And against the big bet 3 ways, I think I'm just gonna fold. My draw is kind of bad. I could opt for raising, but I think against strong ranges, I kind of want to use some better hands. Let's see. Maybe I can. Forgot to do something, and that's fine. King deuce off on both tables. Like, what is this? I'm gonna try limping here. Plays bad as a raise. He plays 60 V-pip, so he's probably not going to fold anything. But still, I kind of want to play against this. King high is good enough to call once. People can stab random hands. And going to check call the river. Winner. Worked out exactly as planned, right? I'm gonna stick with the smaller open raise sizing because my plan is to play like pretty loose. And the wider my ranges are, the more it benefits from smaller open raise sizings. King 6 can 3-bet a little bit. 5 I rolled low. We'll fold. If you wonder why I use this random number generator, Eurogin is a little bit bugged. So I'm using this. Checking range here on the 639 versus a cold call and go from there. It's a good rule of thumb. Every time the cold caller on cutoff or button can flop 2 sets or more with his range. Checking your full range and then go from there is a good play. You also see this in solvers a lot. And now he probably has something like 7s that won't bet for value anymore because the pool generally lacks thin value bets. So I'm going to set a price where I can get called by worse and maybe induce some bluffs. Ace 8. In this lineup I will open. I think big blind is a recreational, button looks tight, and these are the positions with the most likely VPIP. So when I'm opening wider, I'm always looking at button and big blind. If I want to open a little bit wider. If they're tight, if they're recreational, these are always like arguments for opening a little bit wider. Could turn my head into a bluff with hands like 8-7, 8-6 on the turn. Jack 7 I think is a bit too strong and a bit too weak for value betting, I think. Oh, he can have a 9, he can have pocket 10s. If I check and face a really big bet, I kind of have to call. So this accomplishes like 2 things. 1, you get called by worse, even though it's not much. And second, you set your price against something better. And against the rates, we just fold. And don't like give too much on my notes or labels here. I think I don't have like the slightest idea who these guys are. This hand 3 bets a little bit, so 10-15% of the time. And here's kind of interesting against range if this makes a raise. 6-5, 6-7 is better. I can bluff a jack, I can bluff a 9. Yeah, let's roll for a little bit. 99 is just enough, I would say. Pocket 3s, can't do much. And once you are in these spots where you are in the big blind and debate check raising, and you are kind of not sure what to do or if it's too wide or too loose, the tendencies most players have that they are too passive out of the big blind. So if you don't know what to do, I would rather go for it instead of using the safe option. 9-3 cannot do anything, unfortunately, in a splash pot. Hola! Hola, La Strada! Load the gun. I think 150 is good, so I go for 30, opening the 7s. I get maximum from like ace x of spades, queen x of spades, hands like queen jack have interest to call, some ace 10, some ace 9. So yeah, 7's calling a little bit here, 93. Alright, let's see. If you go small, I might raise the pocket 7s for protection and a little bit of value. This accomplishes 2 things. I fold out his air, like his king jack, which still has 2 overcards. And I get called by worse as well. Like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, backdoor flush draw. So yeah. Now with my 8 to the straight, I think I can bet once more. Same reasoning, he still has like ace king, ace queen kind of stuff, and then I'm going to check for the river unimproved. Ace 5, interesting. There you go, right? So he peels once, folds the turn, so he clearly has these overcard regions. And that way, you kind of turn the tables, if that makes sense. On a 5-5-9, we don't have much as the caller, right? So you expect from the in-position player to always barrel and be very aggressive. When you start raising, you kind of switch it, right? You kind of turn the tables around. He has to deal with our raises, with all his kind of cards. And this is a little bit better in the long term if you take the aggression in your shoes and let them make the decision. That way, you don't have to, like on 5-5-9, you call a c-bet, the 6, you add a gut shot, you kind of have to call again, right? River, you get jammed out and you're like, yeah, bluff catching or not, right? You get the point. You get in a lot of tough spots, and the better the players are, the more they will put you in. And yeah, by raising, you kind of turn that around. I'm gonna barrel my 6s here against the recreational. Got him. Okay, let's see. 10 deuce 4, he could go for a bigger sizing. Here my 8s without the 8 of hearts against the big sizing, I will fold right away. Against half pot, I think I have to peel 1. It's kind of close against under the gun. Without a club in my hand. I'm gonna try and steer. Overbetting shouldn't be a thing here, right? So I have more 4x than him. And ranges in terms of nuts and strong hands are kind of equal, so he doesn't want to go too crazy. I think 75 just looks better there. Here again, calling maybe 10% of the time or something. Against the 3x, 3-betting more. Oh, maybe a little bit. And 3-betting more means compared to if I want to call at all, out of the small blind. Basically only if there's a recreational in the hand. 420, 420, hearts, 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 hearts. And no flop. Sad story. And to win in this player pool, I think you don't have to do like anything super crazy. Basically just play solid, don't make like crazy puns, and let other people do the work for you. But that's the case for any stake, right? For NL10, NL25, NL200. Sure, your fundamentals have to be a little bit better once you move up, but it's a myth that on these stakes you have to do like crazy things to have a win rate or to do well. Check folding, kind of the nut worst flop for my range with my complete air. Yeah, if it just leads, leading is not a thing. Usually just like, people just play their hands, right? So they have kind of something. I have nothing much. 10 could be dead. So nothing to do but believing. Ace deuce into the bin. Jack 7. Oh. Against recreational, I like to call these hands, right? Because they let you win the pot, make mistakes, so you defend your big blind wider. And in general, you defend wider. You want to VPIP against recreationalists as much as you can. And he is a winning regular, so Jack 3 will not be in my arsenal. Tutorial how to play pocket jacks and win. Now you see it. Open under the gun. Call a 3-bet from the small blind. Watch this. 8-3-6. We are going to call. We are going to block this one. Get caught by worse. If he check jams, gets kind of dicey. And now probably have to fold. He could have ace-10 though. Small one against under the gun. Ace-10, flush draws. If we die, we die. There we go. Last step is to win the hand. Twice? Yeah, let's do it. And that was my tutorial, how to win pocket jacks. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more, just shoot me a message. I've plenty of these. Fuck me. Fuck me. He gets there twice. We got it in good though. Can't really complain. Queen 9 suited small blind was under like is also like a little bit disrespectful, to be completely honest. Like, what is that guy thinking? I'm an idiot or what? Just kidding, obviously. It's wide, not completely unreasonable. However, I think these Queen 9 and King 9 especially versus early position openings as a 3-bet out of the small blind play pretty poorly. Because every time he flops a straight with his Queen 9 and King 9, on Queen Jack 10 with his King 9, and with Queen 9 as well, I will have the better straight pretty often because I will call with Ace Queen and Ace King pre-flop. So this makes these kind of 3-bets a little bit dicey post-flop. Pocket 3s. Okay, here Ace Jack definitely squeezing. I want to play against this guy. Yeah. Offsuit Broadway hands played pretty poorly in multi-way pots. You kind of want to have something like 5-4 suited more, some Ace-8 suited. That plays a little bit better. And offsuit hands, you should always look to get it like kind of heads up. Because heads up, if you make a pair, you can play for stacks. If you make a pair multi-way, can get dicey. Range betting here usually with someone in the hand that doesn't really care. I will play some checks. Nobody will really notice. Now we can just bet small, get called by worse. Also comfortably can call a check raise. I would really like to have a hand here, right? Recreational, but we don't. Niners. And once again, if you like these kind of videos, me just playing whatever stakes and explaining, comment section is open now, right? I can only know if you let me know. Can only do better in terms of what you guys kind of want to see if you let me know. It's the same as in a restaurant. Can only get some food if you order something. And I'm happy to listen, happy to change the way we do the videos, change the pace, add tables, remove tables, add stakes, remove stakes, whatever comes to mind. And if you just have a good day and want to show me some love, greatly appreciate it. I take a sub to the channel all day. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy as much as I do. Ace queen here is a little bit too loose for cold for betting. Here's the goal, kind of to get called three streets from something worse. So I don't do like, I think kings is just like not good enough for overbet turn general. So I go 75, 75. What is this? Who's this guy? I think as a squeeze, this works better. You want to play heads up against one of the two guys. Call is an option too, but you have a rack in the big blind who could squeeze. So there we go. Worked out exactly as planned. Now we have the two guys in there and we have a second pair. So fasten your seatbelts, everyone. Checking flop is good. My goal is here basically to play a small pot, not a big one. Call once, decide turn. Half pot is already a little bit dicey. But yeah. Oof. Yeah, nothing I can do here. You can have flushes, straights, 9-8, every jack, we are basically dead. So, unfortunately, have to give up that one. Ace 10-6 against the loosey-goosey player. I'm going to just bet, hopefully take it down, bluff a club. I think the 8 is especially bad for bluffing, since 9-8 has a pair now, 8-7 has a pair now, 6-7 added some equity, right? So I'm going to check fold this one. Playing a solid 29 VPIP, just as the doctor ordered. And as I said, it goes down to 28. Have to play more hands. This is a good spot for like widening your 3-betting range, because the regulars will open crazy wide into that big blind who is tight, not full stacked, basically dead money. 9-8, it's not gonna make it. But for example, like Queen Jack off, King 10 off, like a suited ace or something, I would just add to my 3-bet range. And if you want to add hands to your 3-bet range or to 3-bet wider, it's always best to add like the next worst one. Like for example, if King Jack is your worst, add King 10. If Ace 5 is your worst, add Ace 4, Ace 3. Can I call here? Yeah, probably. Get away with it. And not do something like just 3-betting 9-8 off or 7 for suited out of the blue, because then you have no idea what your range actually looks like. If you take like one more combo out of your range, you still have a full range to work with, right? Folding the flop here. Can't do much with someone behind. Ah, queen 4 I missed. Could be an open. Could be an any 2 open. Big blind tight, small blind tight. Was a little bit too fast on that one. Ace queen suited, good hand to call with. Fine sizing by him. Good start. And that's a turn where he should like check a lot of hands. We have like lots of straights, lots of flushes. And the mistake people make is here to check back and try to bluff catch the river or something. But you can just bet this for value, get caught by worse. And you set your price against something like aces or kings too. Now it just goes check, check. And if we lose against aces, we lost the absolute minimum, right? Fair result. Hmm. 10-8. 10-8. 10-8. Never mind. 4-5 suited against the recreational. Out of position. Probably just folding. Yes, we play against a... Ooh, that would be a crazy flop. Against a recreational, you can usually call more. But the way ranges work, they are pretty value heavy, right? Not really having bluffs. So flopping a pair, then getting into showdown will be pretty hard. So yeah. Here I'm going to 3-bet. And the bigger sizing makes it also more attractive for me because there's more money that I can win. Uh, 2-9-6, I will go for half pot and checks. My hand clearly wants to bet. Yes, 6-7 gets there, but that's basically the only real thing. And now we're trying to set it up for stacks. Probably have to do something like this. And if we get jammed on, that's just life. King 8 suited. That's pretty loose again. Let's see if this one holds. Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. King Queen is kind of... No wonder my 10 is not coming. No wonder if he has 2. I think it's just not a great spot for bluffing. I should do it a little bit. But King Queen kind of blocks the hands that he bets the turn with. And then check folds the river, right? The King 10s, the Queen 10s. So it's kind of an combo. Could be that I still have to bluff this without a spade in my hand. Threes, you can open it a little bit if the table allows. I think you want to play against this guy, so let's just do it for the video. Also get the VPIP up. Get punished. Get punished. And especially like deeper, 200 big blinds deep, you never want to call those hands, like 0% of the time. Because for 200 big blinds to go in the middle, it needs a huge cooler situation. So it only goes in when we have a set and they have a set, and with pocket threes we always have the lower set, right? So we kind of create a reverse cooler situation for us, which is not ideal. So you want to have suited aces that can make the nuts, bigger pocket pairs. Ace nine suited, we are going to call. Wow, I have to be a little bit careful here. Can I value bet this? Don't think I get ever bluffed here on the river. So value bet, I think it is. Ooh, that was a thin one. Ace 9 on the turn, fire it in there, and also announce all of the chips on the river. Queens! Ah. That was cool. Worked out as planned. With my sevens. Ace, ace, 10 goes check, check. Should never go check, check. If it goes check, check, they always have something, right? Because all the air, like the 7, 8 suited, can just bet and take it, and I'm check folding like all the time, basically. So if they check, they always have something. So even if my 6 high on the river, I'm not going to bluff this. He's 15 VPIP. I should bluff this, but I don't think there are any hands that really can fold to river bet. This spot I will just not take. Always have something, right? Could be if I go 3x pot, he folds that. Usually my strategy in these check down pots, like on the river, you can have like massive sizings when it gets checked all the way down. Against tight recreationals that basically give away they have something, I think it's fine to give up sometimes. King 7-7. I have to be a bit careful here. Just pot. Okay. Easy for them. Ace queen makes it into betting because he calls worse ace highs. And I can get it to showdown against worse as well. So he calls and like ace 8 of diamonds. And then we are checking it to the river and we still win. Don't think he bluffs ace high on the river. And even the price is good, just going to fold. Don't think people bluff with that sizing a lot. They should, but I think they don't. (10-6) not gonna open. Show some respect for my fellow 200 Zoom grinders. Queen 4 gonna play. I'm just gonna min raise because I have super trash, and I'm just opening because big blind is tight and not full stacked. Caught with my hands in the cookie jar. Again here I'm just checking range when people can flop 2 sets, even with top pair, and I'm not doing any check raising. And now I just bet like twice for value. Hmm, 10-7 not, 6-4 not. Ace Jack twice, almost same suits. Interesting with my jack of clubs here. I think works good as a check raise. And I will use this as a big double check raise. Big sizing. I can still have straights. I have 2 pairs. And now I just go like 3x pot on the river, I think. That's a bit loose. Sure, he can have some 10-9 that will probably call. But also has lots of other hands that get into a really tough spot. Gutshot flush draw. 2 maybe live cards. Is this too many outs again for GG poker? What do you guys think? Are we hitting or not? I'm gonna say too many outs. Obviously we get like the 4 of hearts on the river. It's such a joke, man. Okay. What is he folding? Some ace highs. I block ace 8 of diamonds, ace 6 of diamonds. Probably have to give this one up. Yeah, that hand is probably not going to fold the river. We had 2 overcuts and an open ender and a flush draw. Fuck me, man. If I could bet on this, if it's like coming or not, like I would make money. 7-4 I was ready to blast. 6 is not that great to blast. He can have that lead, yes. Fair enough. I think my hand qualifies for raising. Don't think this is like super light, but want to raise something. And if he has something like spades, he calls and check folds the turn. So basically he says he has a 6 now and we are very, very deep, which is not that bad of a spot for us. We can just call. If we make our hand, we probably get everything. If we don't, we can just fold. 6-5 suited is one combo. He could have pocket 5s. Is he ever folding a 6? We block 6-7 suited and 4-6 suited. He could have 7-8. And now he just checks. Yeah, I think the only thing I want to accomplish here is like let him fold bluffs and spades. And everything else is not going to fold if I jam or do something crazy, right? And my 7-high is a must bluff in that spot. He probably sits on ace x now and check calls the river, which is... He check calls king 6. Bro, you realize that you have a very, very good hand, right? I mean, it worked out against my hand. But I think I would play that differently. And our outs were like super, super live. If he bets the river, I would jam. He gets everything. At least thinking about it. But yeah, in general, those player pools, I see a lot of players, not everyone. 10 big blind jam, queen 8, probably not. I see a lot of players like trying not to lose instead of trying to win the maximum. Right? Instead of value betting, trying to get people to call worse hands, they're trying like not to lose an insane cooler situation, right? If I have a better 6, or a full house, or I made a straight, right? So they're just pissing their pants and go for the check call, which is just not working out in the long term. Kaczorkowski. Oof, 3-bet 4%, 200 hands. Okay, I'm gonna roll for it and go with 25%. Saved? Maybe saved. Who knows? Which means also, if we look at the king 6 hand again, that if we make our hand and he checks the river, we should just jam, right? Because he puts like random super strong hands in there to check call. Mm, 10-8, not gonna do it. 7 deuce, I would open. See a flop with the jack 7 off would be cool. For cheap. Big blind can jam pretty wide though. Maybe not that wide. I think rake is smart enough to have a good limping range here on the gun. Kinda tempting. Kinda tempting. No backdoor flush draw. I will look to bluff this later. I think the John guy is playing pretty honest here with gold in the hand. So it gives like away free information, and if he bets it, I think he always has like a pretty good hand. Looks like an ace 6 or something. Ace queen even, and he doesn't go for the full amount. Interesting. Interesting. So the rule is whenever a fish is in the hand, or a VIP, recreational, whatever you want to call it, you won't get bluffed by the other racks in the hand. Professor Oak. Won jacks. Oh no, we lost the first one. I was about to say we won jacks like twice in a row now, but we got absolutely fucked in the first one. So I take that back. Splash pot to finish first part of the video, and then I'm gonna play some more, record again, upload again. Oof, king 5 is gonna be tough. King 5 gonna be tough. I'm not exactly sure that this is a thing, but probably can't do much here, right? Can I? 11 for 36. Alright, seems like a fair price. That's a whole bunch of nothing. 1/3 on that flop texture. He seems loose, right? 9 hands, we don't know anything. If I have the king of spades, it's kind of tempting to raise. But I think this hand is just a little bit too weak. Alright, boys and girls, that was like a 200 Zoom session. If you enjoyed, drop me a comment. If not, drop me a comment. See you guys in the next one. Much love. And also, if you want to have access to our new email program, let me know, and I can put some links where I send tips every few days. Also about like my grind, general strategies, what we do on Razor Edge, yada yada yada. So plenty of content planning to go out to you guys. And yeah, see ya. Have a good day.